Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Ninja Turtle, and today we're going to cover a brand new custom I finished maybe about a week ago at the time of this recording, and that is this Moonstone figure here. This is a custom. This is not the Moonstone that you would normally see that you can purchase right now. I'm not trying to advertise, but she is available in every Walgreens that I've been in for a while, and I did buy my Moonstone a few months ago, and that's kind of why we're here. Is I was not happy with how she looks. I mean, in general, I like the way the Moonstone body is, and I like the way the new one looks. It's a big improvement on the last one in some areas, in particular the double jointed pinless arms. But ideally, I just have my own preferences. I have my own things that I like about my builds. So that Moonstone doesn't have the aesthetic that I personally like on my figures. So this is my take on it. So we're going to go through this from the bottom to the top. There will be an obligatory comparison to that Moonstone figure, of course, and some others. So stay tuned for that. All right, so this figure is comprised of, for the most part, 3 to 4 figures, depending on how you look at it. So we're going to start again at the bottom, like I said, and really the legs, obviously there's only like 2 colors literally on this entire figure, white and yellow, but the legs and the arms, the whole entire arms, the legs and the arms all come from one figure, and that's Blink. Or any figure that's like that. For the most part, Blink is kind of the Blink and Psylocke are the only ones that have that kind of build with these kinds of legs and this kind of arm, where it's like you can see that there's a lot of muscle definition there. It is still a single jointed elbow. It is not a 90. It's a little bit more than 90, but just a tad. It's not fully. It's again single jointed, not double jointed like we currently enjoy on our new figures. So why didn't I use those? Because the regular ones are like the regular ones aren't very muscular, so I'd rather have something that's a little bit more muscular and cut, like these arms are. Secondly, the newer ones on the Moonstone are very muscular, but they're freaking huge. They're really big. So I just kind of have a idea of what characters I want to have, what type of arms and stuff like that. So in this particular case, I don't want her to have those arms, although it would be super easy to just take them from the current Moonstone and just put them on this body, or obviously even easier to not even make a Moonstone and just settle for this one. But again, I am very particular. The only difference here on the feet is that the Blink feet are a little smaller than this. So these feet came from whatever figure I had that had white feet already. I don't even remember. Probably the Julia Carpenter Spider-Woman, but I'm not 100% sure. But they were already white. I did paint the top of the feet. I did not paint the bottom of them. As far as the rest of her goes, the torso is from a Medusa figure. Now, Medusa's figure does not look like this. It looks like this purple one here, obviously. I made some modifications. In particular, I added this little sculpted button right there to make it more accurate on the character, because Hasbro just painted theirs on, but again, we'll go over that. So you can see the difference here that this has that sculpted button on there, and the Medusa figure does not have that sculpted button. But that's about it. As far as that, no, I'm just kidding. But the obviously I made some enhancements here as well. These arms that are from the Blink figure fit very nicely into the Medusa figure, so that's another plus as to why I'm using the Medusa figure in particular. And then the head also fits very nicely, and that's obviously coming straight from a Moonstone figure. That's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and talk about this. I guess I could mention that one of the other reasons is see, I can't really make, I swear I live literally right on a busy street, and I think every video I make has like paramedics or someone driving by or a train or something. My dog barking is crazy. One of the reasons why I made this custom is really like on display right now. I can't quite make this the original, the full figure of Moonstone stand up, and it's one of the problems with this old body mold. The ankles are bad, like they just don't articulate very well at all, so it's really hard to get any of these older figures to stand up unassisted. So I knew that I can make a build that would have legs that are, you know, fine, and not have big thick ankles like this that don't bend and don't allow for the characters to stand up. Let me know in the comments if your Moonstone is fine and your Moonstone stands up just fine, because mine, I actually just opened this out of the package like right before recording this video, and the one that I had before this, which I have sitting over here, yeah, this one doesn't stand either. So yeah, it's very frustrating. But anyway, you can see the differences here. This one's curvier for sure. This one has wider hips. This one has the curves. It is curvy. It is the curviness that I want for her to have, for this figure to have, for this build. But you know, it's not as curvy as this. Of course, this looks really great. Compare that to mine. It's not the same, but it's not bad either. Mine has a matte finish on all of the white, and then the yellow has a satin finish, so there's a little bit of shine, a little bit of sheen to it. I believe theirs is kind of a matte finish or something like that. It's very close. It does have a little bit more sheen than my matte does, so maybe it's not quite matte. Obviously the yellows are different as well. I don't like this bright yellow, and like I said, this little spot on her stomach is painted on, and I made a actual sculpt here. The hands are different as well, so these fists are great, and they do work great for these arms because they're big jacked arms, but the fists are actually quite large, and these fists are not the same. I actually pulled these from a Dark Star, I believe, who also has yellow hands, open hands and fists. So it was repainted except for the pin area, so I just painted the outside, not the inside of that, just to keep it easy. But they are smaller fists is the point I'm trying to make, and you look better on these smaller arms. If I have a big armed character, I'm going to want to have these big fists on them, but since I downgraded the fists as well. Obviously using the same head, didn't do any modifications to the head whatsoever. It is the exact same, no paint changes, no paint removal, nothing like that. It fits on this body just fine. So in general, oh yeah, the other thing, I didn't, the Thunderbolts symbol on the back, I did not paint that on her back because I don't care. I don't care about the Thunderbolts whatsoever. I just wanted to have a Moonstone because I like the way she looks in this costume, and I like the way she is, well, she's a Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel villain, so I needed to have something like that for her, for Captain Marvel in general. But yeah, that's pretty much it right there. I don't really care for this particular version. Like, I want Hasbro to make more improvements to this body mold, like giving it pinless legs, giving it better legs. They've already given it double jointed pinless arms, so and they're really jacked and really muscular, and I love those. I wish they didn't nerf the chest, of course, like everyone. But I do appreciate that they went back and added a pin in the neck so that she can actually, because the original Moonstone and the original body mold, it just had a placeholder for the head. It did not have a articulated neck at all. So that is that. All right, and one more comparison before we go. We have my custom Moonstone with my custom original Miss Marvel. I made this 3+ years ago, and you can see some differences in my techniques and style and paint and all of that. Just in between the two of these, obviously this one's still super easy. Like, I didn't touch the face, so it's not like I painted this and it looks amazing. That's not the case. But as far as this Miss Marvel goes, I'm much better at painting eyes. I'm much better at mixing paint because I didn't mix the hair color very well, so her hair is really nasty blonde color. For the most part, this blue was a mix as well, and it didn't come out very good. The flesh tone on the legs is fantastic. It's really good, but the yellow isn't very good. Yeah, and just a lot of issues with this for the most part. Now, if you don't know, there's that whole Dark Avengers era in comic books where there was a time where the Avengers were being impersonated by villains. So Moonstone was impersonating Miss Marvel because she was still Miss Marvel at the time, not Captain Marvel, and she wore this costume. So one of the reasons why I did this is because I wanted to test out a new build for Captain Marvel, in particular for Carol Danvers. I want to build Carol Danvers to look exactly like this going forward. That's all of my Carol Danvers. So this body mold is a Kate Bishop torso and Kate Bishop upper torso and lower torso. Actually, I think this might be a female beetle. Actually, it is actually. So this upper torso is a female beetle upper torso, and the lower torso is just a standard Kate Bishop. Here's the other reason I need to remake this one too. This was always like this. Maybe, I don't know if it was either a week after I made it or it was immediately after I made it, but the legs, for whatever reason, just got really loose in there, and I don't think I even cracked this torso, but they're super loose, and that's why she like leans over to the side when I put her down or stuff like that. So I need to fix this. But in general, when I make this again, it'll be very much like how I made this Moonstone, the exact same build, modifying the chest, using the same arms, using the same legs and stuff like that, but putting it on the Medusa mold. And then you can see here, I meant to say on Moonstone, this is a purple pin. I did use an actual Medusa, so this pin on the inside, I did crack this torso open and swap it out and used a resin copy of this pin to make it white with, pigmented white, so that way I didn't have to paint it. I did legitimately crack the torso, and maybe if you are eagle-eyed, can you see where I made that crack? Where I drilled a hole on the side of it, cracked it open, and then had to patch the hole. It is on this side. If you can see it, great. Also not great, because that means I didn't do a good enough job. If you can't see it, that means I did an excellent job of covering that hole up so you couldn't see it. But it was genuinely on that side of her body, so I'm not lying about that. In general, yeah, that will do it. Like I said, this was a great test run for how I'm going to build Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel in the future, but not just her. I'm going to also make Psylocke just like this. I'm going to make Samus Aran, however you say her last name, from Metroid, just like this, and probably a handful of other characters. I'm still kind of debating whether or not I want Wonder Woman to look like this on this body, or if I want her to be more on this body. I am not 100% sure yet. I'm going back and forth on it, but Wonder Woman will probably be an early thing that I do when I come back from my break, which, by the way, I'll be taking a break very soon. So make sure you subscribe to get the last few videos I'll be making on this channel for a little while, to see what I've made and get some more information about my break and what's coming up for the channel. But thanks for watching. I do appreciate that. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well, and comment. Let me know what you think of my version of Moonstone, and how you think like Captain Marvel is going to look in the future, and Psylocke and so on. When I do this, I'll be completely redoing the face and stuff, so it won't look this bad. Trust me. Anyway, see you guys next time.